2, Nick Freeney. Batting 5th, the catcher, number 3, Beau Rogers. Batting 6th, the third baseman, number 5, Gavin Cole. Batting 7th, the left fielder, number 4, Jordan Rosenblum. Batting 8th, the second baseman, number 23, Preston Vincent. Batting 9th, the right fielder, number 11, Hunter Greenwald. The remainder of the squad, number 1, Jack Livingston. Number 2, Bradley Livingston. Number 6, Drew Landry. Number 7, Nick Watkins. Number 10, Jackson White. Number 12, John Mark Smith. Number 15, Jeff Erickson. Number 17, Zach Rickard. Number 18, Sam Ray. Number 19, Dahl. Number 20, Laura Schuler. And number 24, Brandon Winger. The remainder of the Pearce staff, along with his coaching staff. And now for the Lake Highlands Wildcat. Batting first, left fielder, number 17, Will Atkins. Batting second, the shortstop, number 5, Ben Kohler.
Hey, John Brewer.
Number 12,
Hey.
Batting fourth, the third baseman, number 21, Matt Mullen. Batting fifth, the second baseman, number 1, Sam Miller. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, number 23, John Ryan. Ryan will be batting for the pitcher, number 8, Tanner Kennedy. Batting seventh, the center fielder, number 2, Jacob Thompson. Batting eighth, first baseman, number 20, Josh Taylor. Batting ninth, right fielder, number 15, Blake Brown. The remainder of the squad, number 3, Evan Cotland. Number 4, Edward Longoria. Number 6, Ryan Johnson. Number 9, Jim Spurs. Number 10, J.P. Williams. Number 11, Anton Garrett. Number 13, Josh Outstead. Number 14, Brendan Bolden. Number 16, Drew Keith. Number 18, Leo Ritchie. Number 19, Riley Bowden. Number 22, Trey Edge. Number 25, Jackson McKinney. Number 26, Brent Silva. Our doctorate this evening, Cooper Carroll from the 5th grader at Merriman Park Elementary. And Carson Carroll, a 2nd grader at Merriman Park Elementary. Our coaches, head coach Andy Parker, Cliff James, and Brock Boyd. And now we ask that you all stand, removing any headgear you may be wearing, covering your heart, as we honor our nation and our flag with the playing of our national anthem. So we ask that you sit back, relax, and cheer your favorite team on.
Welcome, high school baseball fans. It's John Brewer and Mason Trevino with FridayNightGlory.com coming to you from the campus of Lake Highlands High School, where tonight the visiting J.J. Pearce Mustangs will play the Lake Highlands Wildcats in the second game of a two-game set. The Wildcats take the first one on Tuesday night, 6-4, to bring their district record up to 4-5. Mustangs, although they lost to Lake Highlands on Tuesday night, maintain sole possession of second place as we enter tonight's play. They dropped to 6-3 in district play, but that is good enough for sole possession of second place as Dallas Molina upset Dallas Skyline. So at the moment, J.J. Pearce, the only RISD school that would be in the playoffs if the season ended today. So for the fourth consecutive ball game, the Mustangs will try for their 17th victory of the season, which would equal last year's win total, a team that went into the second round only to fall to the Woodlands College Park High School. We're just about ready to get underway. Temperatures in the upper 60s, early 70s, very, very light breeze. We just got word that the Duncanville Panthers won earlier today. They beat the W.T. White Longhorns. Let's get to the action here. It'll be the sophomore Burke Wahlberg, the center fielder for the Mustangs, leading it off against the pitcher, who tonight will be Tanner Cabaniss. Cabaniss closed out the game on Tuesday, and he will start tonight's tilt. And Wahlberg fouls the first pitch off its 0-1. 0-1 pitch is flown down the line in left, but angling foul over by the fence, so 0-2. Cabaniss works out of the windup here with nobody on to begin the game, and he is high with a fastball, 1-2. Burke Wahlberg, first time all year that he has led the game off for Coach Rumfield. Familiar batter in the on-deck circle in Wyatt Erickson, the senior shortstop, and now Cabaniss almost brushes the jersey of Wahlberg with a fastball. It evens the count at 2. The sun has dipped below the tree line here. It is all shadows as we get going. The lights are already on, as we are just underway here at Lake Highlands. Wahlberg fouls a 2-2 pitch back. The count will remain 2-2. Mustangs in their visiting red jerseys with the white bottoms. Lake Highlands all white with the black and red trim, and now Wahlberg waves at an off-speed pitch, and he is down on strikes. That'll bring up Erickson.
For the Mustangs, their shortstop, number 16, Wyatt Erickson.
Erickson, a staple in Coach Rumfield's lineup all year long, playing out there at shortstop, batting in the 2-hole virtually all season long, leads the team in RBIs, leads the team in runs scored, I believe, and he'll take a fastball down, 1-0. Cabaniss is a lefty. We apologize for not being able to bring you the video right away. Now Erickson tips a fastball, 1-1. We are recording it. You'll be able to check it out on FridayNightGlory.com at some point, either late tonight or in the morning. We'll bring that to you. For the time being, we're glad that you're going to stick with us and listen to the audio. I'll try to paint the picture for you. And now a fastball paints the outside corner, 1-2. That was one of those pitches early in a game that you wonder if the umpire's going to give it to him just right off the corner there, and home plate umpire says, yes, sir, strike. And now a curveball stays outside from Cabness, 2-2. Ben Kessler, the DH, is in the on-deck circle. 2-2 count to Erickson, just underway, one down, nobody aboard. Erickson with a ground ball out to short. It is picked by the shortstop, Ben Kohler. Throws across the diamond and 2 down. That'll bring up the junior slugger, Ben Kessler, also amongst the team leaders in virtually every major offensive category. Also a staple in Coach Rumfield's lineup and has been batting third for a long time now. Swings and misses at a curveball, 0-1. The flags just beyond the right field wall are just barely moving out there. Very comfortable evening here in North Texas. 0-1 pitch is popped foul. Cabness doing a good job getting in front of the Mustang hitters here in the early go. Sophomore Nick Graney in the on-deck circle, hoping for a chance here. Kessler in a hole at 0-2, takes a curveball down. 1-2. One-two pitch is a fastball strike. He caught Kessler looking. So Cabness sets the Mustangs down in order here in the top of the first. We'll take a break. We'll be back with the home half. The home half of the first. Lake Highlands pitcher Tanner Cabness sets the Mustangs down in order on 15 pitches in the top of the first. All senior infield for the Mustangs tonight. Gold at third, Erickson at short, Vinzant at second, Nicholas Burlbaugh at first base. It's the sophomore righty Nick Graney on the bump for the Mustangs. He's settled into the Friday night starter for J.J. Pearce. His battery mate is junior Beau Rogers. From left to right in the outfield, it's Rosenblum, Wahlberg, and Greenwell. Again, the designated hitter tonight is Ben Kessler, and he is hitting for the first baseman, Nicholas Burlbaugh. So Graney will work out of the stretch to Will Haskins, and Haskins takes a fastball just outside, 1-0. Now fastball down, 2-0. Graney did have a little bit of trouble with his control last Friday night. Pitched fantastically when he was around the plate. Gave Duncanville all kinds of fits, but struggled a little bit with his control, and he misses again with a fastball here. 3-0 to Haskins. Haskins occupies left field for head coach Andy Parker. Parker in his second year, he occupies the third base coaching box tonight. And Graney misses up again, and it's a 4-pitch leadoff walk to Will Haskins. That'll bring up the shortstop, Ben Kohler. Again, just underway here. No score. Bottom of the first, nobody out, one aboard now for the shortstop, Ben Kohler. Graney misses with a fastball, 1-0. 8-6A standings, the Panthers from Duncanville continue to lead 8-6A. They win again earlier today against W.T. White. That runs their district record to 9-1. And now Graney is up high with a fastball, 2-0. In fact, the J.J. Pearce Mustangs, the only team in 8-6A that has defeated the Panthers But since then, the Panthers have won 2 district games in a row. The Mustangs have dropped 2, and now the Panthers are securely in first place here. Graney misses again after a short visit from third baseman Gavin Gold. So Graney's struggling with his control out of the chute here. 3-0 to Kohler. Assuming that Andy Parker will have him taking all the way. He does, and it's a fastball strike right down the middle. So 3-1 to Kohler.
Hey, roll it up. Here we go. Here we go. Come on, Nick.
3-1 pitch is fouled back. So Graney has battled back, and it's a full count to the shortstop, Kohler. Again, these Wildcats took the first of the 2-game set on Tuesday night, 6-4. Mustangs led it 3-1 going into the 6th inning, but the Wildcats battled back. And now a ground ball up the middle off the glove of Graney and comes to rest midway between the mound and second base, and nothing that Graney, Erickson, or Vinzant could do about that. So don't believe that that was a hit, but now Nick Graney is hanging his left arm down. He is injured, folks. Not sure if it's his shoulder or his arm, but the Mustangs will hold their breath here. It is not his pitching shoulder or arm, but he does appear to be in significant discomfort here, and they will immediately call Hunter Greenwell in from right field. So I believe, unfortunately, the evening is over for Nick Graney. We hope that the young man's injury is minor, but he does appear to be in some pretty good discomfort out there right now. So they will call Hunter Greenwell in from right field to take some warm-up tosses. Try to get an injury report for you on Graney here in a little bit, but we'll take a break. No score here early on, but the Wildcats threatening in the bottom of the first. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the ballpark. An unfortunate injury to starting pitcher Nick Graney. Shortstop Ben Kohler hit a sharp ground ball up the middle. Graney made a stab at it. It glanced off his glove and went about 20, 25 feet behind him. He retreated, went to the ground to try to pick the ball up and make a play, and unfortunately when he went down, he did something to his left shoulder or elbow. And now the catcher, Brady Hernandez, lays a really nice bunt down and a really nice defensive play by Gavin Gold, who came sprinting in from his third base position, corralled that ball about 25 or 30 feet up the third base line, made a sidearm throw to Nicholas Burlbaugh. So it's a sacrifice bunt by Hernandez, 5-3 put out, but both runners move up. So it'll be second and third with one out, and that brings up the third baseman, Matt McMullen. And a sharp ground ball up the middle. That'll score both Wildcats. And Lake Highlands is off to a 2-0 lead. First ball hitting McMullen. Sharp single right up the middle off Hunter Greenwell. And it's a 2 RBI single and a 2-0 lead for the homestanding Wildcats. So that'll bring up the second baseman, Sam Miller.
Now batting, second baseman, number 1, Sam Miller.
And Greenwell starts Miller out with an off-speed pitch in the dirt. It's 1-0 to Miller. So just one out here and 2 in as we play in the bottom of the first. And Sam Miller skies one to deep short. Wyatt Erickson backs out 2 steps on the outfield grass and makes the catch. So 2 down now, and that'll bring up the DH, Sean Ryan. Ryan hits for pitcher Tanner Cabness tonight. So 2 outs, 2 in, 1 aboard as we play here in the bottom of the first. Greenwell with a curveball that's fouled back, 0-1. Let's get back to the standings. Duncanville 9-1 are in first place. The Mustangs at 6-3 are in second place. Third place is a tie between Dallas Molina and Skyline. Now, an off-speed pitch in the dirt, but Ryan offers and misses, so quickly 0-2 to him. So a two-way tie for third between Molina and Skyline. Then a two-way tie for fifth between these Wildcats. And a swing and a miss for a strikeout. The ball gets away from Rogers, but he scoops it up, throws it down to Burlbaugh, and that'll do it. But the Lake Highlands Wildcats draw first blood. They lead it 2-0. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Lake Highlands High School. We head to the second inning. The Wildcats lead the Mustangs 2-0. Jet Arrington will lead it off for the Mustangs. The sophomore takes a fastball high. Now Arrington with a lazy liner foul down the first base line, 1-1. So it'll be 4, 5, and 6 for the Mustangs here in the second inning. That means catcher Beau Rogers is in the on-deck circle, and Gavin Gold, the third baseman, is in the hole. Cabness misses with a fastball high and outside, 2-1. We'll try again to get through the 8-6A standings. These teams don't go too long without action. So I've had trouble getting through those. We'll finish them off here in a second. Sharp ground ball through the left side. Single for Jet Arrington. Boy, no doubt about that one. He ripped that one through the left side. So the first base runner aboard for the Mustangs tonight. It's a leadoff single for Jet Arrington. That'll bring up junior catcher Beau Rogers. Cabness deals, and it's a strike. 0-1. Back half of the 8-6A standings, these Wildcats and W.T. White Longhorns are tied for fifth at 4-5. Now Rogers takes a fastball inside, 1-1. The Richardson Eagles are in seventh place at 3-6, and the Berkner Rams finally on the 8-6A board. They defeat the Eagles on Tuesday and are now 1-8 on the season. They're in eighth place. So Beau Rogers takes a fastball high and has a hitter's count at 2-1. Now a foul ball back behind the Mustangs dugout, 2-2. So the Mustangs were cruising along at 16-5-1. Beat Duncanville at Duncanville to grab a share of the first place lead in 8-6A on Tuesday, but have since dropped 3 straight. And Rogers chops a curveball down the line at third and beats it out. A nice hustle play by Beau Rogers, who hit a chopper that made it about 20 feet up the third baseline, maybe 30 feet. And the third baseman for the Wildcats, Matt McMullen, made a nice clean play, threw across, but Rogers beat it out. It's a hit all the way for Beau. And so the Mustangs have the first 2 hitters aboard here in the top of the second. That brings up the third baseman, Gavin Gold. Anyway, the Mustangs were cruising along 16-5-1. Lost the Friday night game last week to Duncanville 3-1 at home. Lost a very close game to Dallas Jesuit the next day at Jesuit by 1 run. And then the Wildcats upset the Mustangs on Tuesday night at home. So 3 straight dropped by the Mustangs. Fastball strike to Gavin Gold, who squared to bunt and pulled the bat away. So it's 0-1 to him. The catcher, Brady Hernandez, made a bid to try to get Jed Arrington at second, but Arrington was back in with a head-first slide. So 0-1 to Gold, runners at first and second. Nobody out here in the top of the second. Wildcats lead it 2-0. And now Gold squares to bunt again, and he lays one down, but it's foul. So 0-2 to Gold. I presume that Coach Rumfield will have him hitting away now.
Yeah, I think so.
Cabness's 0-2 deliveries. A curveball that catches the outside corner for strike 3. Caught Gold looking. So 1 down. That'll bring up the senior left fielder Jordan Rosenblum. When Graney was injured in the last half inning, it set off some defensive changes for the Mustangs that I am not 100% sure of yet, but I do know Hunter Greenwell came in from right field to pitch, and I know that Arrington came in to hit for Graney here in this inning. Now Cabness starts Rosenblum out with a fastball down, 1-0. So I'm not quite sure what that did to the Mustang outfield defensively, but we'll certainly pass that along as soon as we know. 1-0 pitch to Rosenblum is a fastball high, 2-0. Senior second baseman Preston Vincent is in the on-deck circle, and Hunter Greenwell, the pitcher now, is in the hole. 2-0 pitch is a fastball strike on the corner, 2-1. Wildcat infield at medium depth. Partly cloudy and cool here in North Texas, but not cold. It's a very comfortable night. And a foul back. 2-2 to Rosenblum. Big trees and residential homes beyond the center field and right field wall here at Lake Highlands. Beautiful scene. FridayNightGlory.com bringing you some 8-6A baseball tonight. Now a ground ball that the third baseman cuts off and it gets under his glove. That'll be an error on the third baseman, Matt McMullen. It was a slow roller, and McMullen cut the ball off, but I believe was looking ahead to what he was going to do, and the ball stayed under his glove. It didn't go anywhere. It stayed right in front of him, caught a piece of his glove, but it's an E5 all the way, and the bases are now loaded for the Mustangs. And that brings up Preston Vincent. And a fastball stays wide. 1-0. So big opportunity for the Mustangs here to get right back in this game. They trail it 2-0 on the strength of 2 Wildcat first inning runs. 1-0 pitch is fouled back, 1-1. We now get word that Nick Graney did indeed dislocate his left shoulder. Unfortunate injury for the young man. And our best wishes are with him for a quick recovery. Vinzant swings and misses at a curveball, 1-2. So tough luck for Graney and the Mustangs here with the quick start by the Wildcats and the Graney injury. 1-2 pitch is a curveball that stays outside, 2-2. Mustangs already with some injuries this year. Projected starting center fielder Sutton Stokes out with a foot injury, and Nick Watkins, who projected as a regular Tuesday or Friday night starter, has a hairline fracture in his growth plate and has been unable to pitch. So Mustangs having to figure it out on the run. This happens in baseball from time to time, and as I mentioned, the Mustangs have dropped 3 in a row, so they off to a really fast start. They've lost a couple in a row here, but this is a very resilient bunch. I've used that word a lot this year to describe this Mustangs team. I believe it's apropos. Now a curveball stays outside again, much to the dismay of the Wildcat contingent. We've got a great view behind home plate tonight, and I can tell you that wasn't a strike. It was a curveball that stayed outside. The count is full. So 1 down, bases loaded, full count to Preston Vinzant. And a fastball outside, it's a walk. An RBI walk for Preston Vinzant. And the Mustangs are on the board as Jet Arrington jogs home after a leadoff single. That'll bring up the pitcher, Hunter Greenwell. Andy Parker will make a quick mound visit. Brady Hernandez will join him out on the mound to have a really quick word with Cabness. So 1 down, bases remain loaded. Mustangs have cut the Lake Highlands advantage in half, 2-1 now. Greenwell also a sophomore. And a fastball strike from Cabness. That had a little pepper sauce on it. Whatever Coach Parker said to the young man worked for 1 pitch at least. So 0-1 to Greenwell. The leadoff hitter, Burke Wahlberg, also a sophomore, is on deck. And now Cabness misses outside with a fastball. Greenwell squared to bunt there, but then pulled the bat back. So 1-1 to Greenwell. 2-1 Wildcats here in the early go.
Got it, Hunter.
Cabness deals, and Greenwell fouls one back, 1-2. Thanks again for joining us here on FridayNightGlory.com. 8-6A arch rivals Lake Highlands and J.J. Pearce going at it on a beautiful Friday night here in North Texas. Cabness working out of the stretch. Greenwell single through the right side. That brings home 1. Here comes another run, and he's under the tag. In fact, that was Jordan Rosenblum with the second run. He was in with a good hard head-first slide, and Brady Hernandez caught the ball about the same time that Rosenblum was crossing home plate, so he didn't even offer a tag. So it's a 2-run RBI single for the 9-hitter, Hunter Greenwell. So he helps himself by knocking in a couple of runs. Vinzant makes it over to third. So a quick turn of events here, and the Mustangs grab a 3-2 lead. It's back to the top of the order, and Burke Wahlberg still just 1 down. Runners at the corners now. Mustangs with a 3-2 lead. So 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors here in the early go for the Mustangs. 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 error for the Wildcats. The center fielder, Burke Wahlberg, faces Cabness and takes a fastball high. 1-0. Lefty versus lefty matchup here. Wyatt Erickson, the senior shortstop, is on deck. Wahlberg struck out swinging in the first. Now takes another fastball up, 2-0. Lake Highlands also having some technical challenges tonight. The scoreboard is on and then off and on and then off. And now Wahlberg takes a fastball strike, 2-1. There was a very light breeze blowing from right to left. Now it turns around and blows from left to right. So I don't know that I would call them swirling, but the winds have changed direction a little bit. And now the runner is off and going, and Hunter Greenwell is in without a throw. Brady Hernandez looked at second, then fired down to the third baseman, McMullen, but Vincent was back in safely. So runners at second and third now for Burke Wahlberg. So the force has been removed, and the count is 3-1. And now a little nubber to McMullen at third, who looks the runner back, throws across, and he got Wahlberg. Nothing Preston Vincent could have done there but stick at the bag. Nice play by McMullen. Cabness kind of sawed Wahlberg off a little bit, hit a very light ground ball right at McMullen. McMullen glances Vincent back to third and makes a nice throw. So 2 down. Runners at second and third for the senior shortstop, Wyatt Erickson. Erickson, again, leading this team in hits and RBI, and he will ask for time, not comfortable with the pace that Cabness was setting. Steps out, takes a few cuts, and gathers himself. Now steps back in, and we're back to business. Fastball just off the outside edge, 1-0. Ben Kessler, the junior DH, is on deck. One-0 pitch from Cabness is wide. It goes behind Brady Hernandez now. Boy, just a crazy chain there of events. The ball got by Brady Hernandez, but it caromed off the backstop. It came back to Hernandez, keeping Vincent at third. The problem was that Greenwell was about 2/3 of the way to third and probably would have been picked off, except that when Hernandez threw the ball back to Cabness, he threw it over his head. So no harm done. It is now a 2-0 count to Erickson. And he is wide with a fastball, clearly being comfortable with the Mustang slugger. With first base open, he is likely trying to hit the corners here. Of course, no relief in sight. That would bring up Ben Kessler with the bases loaded. And now a fastball misses just off the edge, so Erickson draws a 4-pitch walk. And the bases are reloaded for the Mustangs here. 3 already across, 3 aboard, 2 outs. And Ben Kessler at the plate. And if you've got good math, you know that the Mustangs have now batted around. And now Brady Hernandez jogs out to have a word with Cabness, and Kessler walks halfway up the line at third and has a brief discussion with Coach Rumfield. Everybody has returned to their respective spots, and we are headed straight for some drama. Sacks full for Kessler, who struck out looking to end the first inning. He gets another big opportunity here in the second. Fastball is strike. Boy, that was borderline high, but I guess at the tip top of the home plate umpire's strike zone. Certainly on the letters for Kessler. It's 0-1. And now Cabness takes a little off and misses. 1-1. Jed Arrington in the on-deck circle, he led this inning off with a sharp single. Hoping for another chance to bat. Fastball fouled back. Scoreboard shows 2-1. I had 1-2. Let's see what the umpire says. I believe I was wrong. I believe it's a 2-1 count to Ben Kessler with the bases loaded here. And a sharp single through the right side. Base hit off the bat of Ben Kessler. One in. Here comes the second run. It's in. And Erickson is around to third. So a huge base hit by the junior, Ben Kessler. He knocks in Vincent and Greenwell. So it is now 5-2 Mustangs. And for the second time in this inning, sophomore Jed Arrington steps into the batter's box. Again, that word resilient, I'm going to keep using it. Mustangs, losers of 3 in a row. A tough start to this one. But here they come, ladies and gentlemen, as they've done so many times this year. Cannot keep a good team down. The Mustangs are stampeding at the moment, and Jed Arrington will look for his second hit of the inning here. Runner goes. Hernandez throws back to the pitcher, who throws to McMullen at third. But nothing doing there, and Kessler is in safely at second without a throw. 1-0 to Arrington. First base now open. The force has been removed. Fastball outside. One delivery from Cabness is skied into foul territory. And it is out of play just by 10 or 15 feet. It looked as though the Wildcat first baseman, Josh Taylor, might have a play at that, but the ball just kept drifting and went foul. So 1-2 to Arrington. Cabness still working out of the stretch. And a foul tip off the bat of Arrington. Count remains 1-2. Mustangs 5 runs here in the top of the second. They have claimed a 5-2 lead off the Wildcats, over the Wildcats, who posted a 2 spot of their own in the bottom of the first. 1-2 delivery is low. It gets through Brady Hernandez at home, and Wyatt Erickson is in with a good hard slide. So the Mustangs have scored again, now 6-2, and Kessler, of course, moves up to third on the play. The count is now 2-2 to Jed Arrington. So a nice bounce back inning from J.J. Pearce here. They lead it now 6-2. 2-2 pitch is fastball strike on the outside corner. Caught Arrington looking, but the Mustangs post 6 runs. They lead it 6-2. We'll be right back with the bottom of the second. Welcome back to Lake Highlands High School. The Mustangs fight back and post 6 runs in the top of the second to take a 6-2 lead. It'll be the center fielder Jacob Thompson leading off for Lake Highlands. And a curveball is down for ball 1. And now a fastball in the dirt, 2-0 to Thompson. Thompson's big brother Jackson is the quarterback for the Wildcats and already enrolled at Louisiana Tech. Will have his spring game tomorrow, I believe. If not, then it's coming right up. Jackson earning a scholarship to Louisiana Tech, reminiscent of another Lake Highlands quarterback, Matt Dunnigan, who did some damage there. Sharp ground ball up the middle, but takes a nice high hop for Erickson, who wheels and makes a strong throw to Burlbaugh. Boy, what a throw by Erickson. Jacob Thompson absolutely hammered that ball up the middle. Erickson ranged to his left. It took a nice hop, and Erickson gathered it about neck high and wheeled around and threw an absolute laser to Nicholas Burlbaugh. And the leadoff hitter for the Wildcats is retired, and that'll bring up the first baseman, Josh Taylor. So 1 down, nobody aboard. Sophomore lefty Hunter Greenwell on the hill for the Mustangs. He misses with his initial delivery, 1-0. If you're just joining us, Nick Graney separated his shoulder on the mound in the bottom of the first. Now a foul back by Taylor, 1-1. On a play where he reached down for a ground ball, it glanced off and under his glove and went about 20 feet behind the mound. He scrambled over, went to the ground to get it, and separated his left shoulder in the process. So we wish the young man well. Hopefully a speedy recovery for him. But Hunter Greenwell is summoned from right field, and he's been in ever since that injury. And it's a 2-1 count to Josh Taylor. Mustangs with a 6-2 lead. Still in the early go here at Lake Highlands. A foul back to the net, 2-2. Mustangs in bad need of a victory. Again, they lost to Duncanville last Friday and lost to Jesuit the following day, and then to these Wildcats on Tuesday night. So looking to end a 3-game skid tonight and match their 2018 win total of 17. Now Greenwell with a slow curve just misses to fill the count. The right fielder Blake Brown is in the on-deck circle for the Wildcats. Then it's back to the top of the order. And Will Haskins thereafter. Payoff pitch is down, and Josh Taylor is aboard with a 1-out walk. So Blake Brown, the right fielder, steps into the box. Josh Taylor with a modest lead at first base. Greenwell now working out of the stretch, and it is an off-speed strike to Blake Brown, 0-1. Oh, 1 hook offered at and missed. Nice curveball from the sophomore. 0-2 to Brown. Coach Brock Rumfield, in his first year as the head coach here at J.J. Pearce, was an assistant coach the past few years. And now a shallow fly ball into center that drops in between Erickson and Wahlberg. Hit all the way there by Blake Brown, and now runners at first and second for the left fielder, Will Haskins. Haskins drew a leadoff walk and came around to score the Wildcats' first run in the first inning. He bats again here in the second inning with 2 aboard and 1 out. And Greenwell misses with a pitch. He gets behind Beau Rogers at the plate, and both runners will move up. So a wild pitch moves both runners up a bag. So second and third now. 1 out. 1-0 count to Will Haskins. Nicholas Burlbaugh is in on the grass, perhaps anticipating bunt, and Greenwell misses high with a fastball, 2-0. So big sophomore influence here for the Mustangs. The starting pitcher, Nick Graney, who is injured, is replaced by a sophomore. Greenwell fires true with a fastball, 2-1 now to Haskins. So both pitchers tonight, sophomores for the Mustangs. Sophomore starter in center field, and Jed Arrington came in to hit for Graney in the second inning and had a sharp base hit and came around to score. So underclassmen doing big things here for this Mustang team. Bodes well for the future. It's now a 3-1 count to Haskins. First base is open. Burlbaugh in on the grass at first. Gold even with the bag. Now a shallow fly ball to center field. Wahlberg makes the catch, but no play at home, so it'll be a sacrifice fly off the bat of Will Haskins. And an RBI for Haskins. So it's 6-3 now. Mustangs lead it. Blake Brown had to hold at second base there. So 2 outs, runner at second, 1 in for the Wildcats here, and it's the shortstop Ben Kohler who hits in the 2-hole, and he swings and misses at Greenwell's first offering, 0-1. Nice crowd on hand here in North Texas to watch these 2 old arch rivals. This year playing in District 8-6A, Region 1. Now Greenwell, uncomfortable, steps off the rubber. Scoreboard continuing to tease us, going on and off and on and off. Now curveball in the dirt, runner goes. A dart thrown down to third by Beau Rogers. It appeared to beat Blake Brown. Nothing wrong with the tag that Gavin Gold laid down, but the field umpire, who is behind the mound, says he was under the tag. Perhaps a little help from head coach Andy Parker, who signaled safe, but boy, the throw sure beat Brown down there. It looked like an inning-ending 2-5 putout. Umpire says no, so 1-1 count to Kohler now. And the Wildcats' fourth run just 90 feet away now. Curveball swung on and missed. 1-2 to Kohler. Boy, the junior Beau Rogers flashed that arm there. That was a rocket he threw down to Gold. Now a hanging curveball stays high evening the count at 2. So lots of action here in the first 2 innings. Mustangs lead at 6-3. Wildcats threatening for more here. 2-2 count to the shortstop, Ben Kohler. Greenwell offers, swung on and missed. The ball gets away from Rogers. He throws down to first and just beats Ben Kohler. So it's a strikeout swinging and a 2-3 assist. And the Wildcats are finally retired, but not before they push one more across. Mustangs lead it 6-3 after 2. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Lake Highlands High School, and thank you for joining us. I'm John Brewer, along with engineer, producer Mason Trevino. On behalf of FridayNightGlory.com, welcome. If you want action, you came to the right place. 6-3 here, and first pitch swinging. Sharp single up the middle for the catcher, Beau Rogers. So Beau Rogers 2 for 2 tonight at the plate, and he's aboard with a leadoff single. That'll bring up the third baseman, Gavin Gold. Gold struck out looking in the second. He squares the bunt and then takes a ball almost off the shoelaces there. Had Gavin dancing around there in the batter's box, but it didn't hit him. And a nice play by Brady Hernandez to keep it in front of him, the catcher for Lake Highlands. So it's 1-0. Modest lead by Beau Rogers at first base after that sharp single up the middle. And now Cabness does hit Gavin Gold with a pitch. And so the Mustangs, for the second inning in a row, have their first 2 batters aboard. So more opportunity for the Mustangs. And now Coach Rumfield asks for a brief word with senior slugger Jordan Rosenblum. It's a brief chat, probably talking about whether or not they're going to bunt. Rosenblum reached on an error in the last inning and came around to score one of the Mustangs' 6 runs in the second inning. Mustangs, again, more opportunity here in the third. 2 aboard, nobody out. Jordan Rosenblum batting in the 7-hole tonight for the Mustangs will face the pitcher Tanner Cabness, who has gone all the way for the Wildcats. I say all the way, we're only in the third inning. And Rosenblum does square to bunt. Cabness fields it, throws the third. And field umpire says safe. A bang-bang play at third there. And, wow, I mean, really close play. It almost looked like that might have been a makeup call for the one from the bottom of the last inning. Frankly, I thought both of them were out, but what do I know? These 52-year-old eyes. So the bases are loaded with nobody out for the second baseman, Preston Van Zandt, who takes a fastball low and in, 1-0. So I guess you call that a base hit. No real error was made on that play. If there was, it was a mental error by the pitcher to offer to third base instead of throwing to first. And now the home plate umpire has a word with Andy Parker, the head coach for Lake Highlands. Not sure what that's about, but now he points over to the Mustang dugout and says something. Not sure, maybe some mouths were running on either side. Either way, we're back to business. Bases loaded, 1-0 count. Ground ball into the hole on the left side. Long throw. Got it. Preston Van Zant by a half a step. Boy, a nice throw by the shortstop, Ben Kohler there. It's kind of a chopper there by Van Zant that made it into the hole, backhanded by Kohler. Long throw, and it was on the money to beat Van Zant by a half step, but it's an RBI. A run scores. So Preston Van Zant with RBIs in both of his first two plate appearances tonight, continuing to do good things for the Mustangs. Everybody moves up one. So one down now, runners at second and third. Hunter Greenwell is at the plate. It's a 1-1 count to him. Now fastball misses outside, 2-1. Greenwell with a 2 RBI single in the second inning. Will try to help himself again here. Mustangs lead it 7-3 now. Greenwell takes a strike right down the middle, 2-2. So the Mustangs get the run they gave up in the bottom of the second right back and reclaim a 4-run lead, I should say. And now Greenwell asks the home plate umpire for time. Two-two delivery is a sharp single up the middle. 1 run in, 2 runs in. Mustangs lead it 9-3. So Hunter Greenwell with 4 RBI through 2 1/3. So a huge night for Hunter Greenwell, who started this game in right field, and 2 batters in to the bottom of the first was summoned to pitch for the injured Nick Graney. Since that time, he's batted twice, and both times delivered 2 RBI singles. And by that, I mean two RBI singles. So 4 RBI for the sophomore here. And that brings up Burke Wahlberg, who takes strike 1. Wahlberg struck out swinging in the first and grounded out to third in the second. He says, hey, I'm going to get to bat in every inning. So here he is again in the third. It's quickly 0-2. Again, Tanner Cabness, the lefty on the hill for Lake Highlands tonight, closed the victory on Tuesday night at Pearce. Threw 15 pitches in the first inning, but 45 pitches in the second inning. He misses with a fastball here, 1-2. So with 60 pitches coming into this inning, and I don't know how many he pitched on Tuesday night. I was unfortunately out of town and missed that game, but Cabness has got to be near his pitch limit. Runner goes, throw down to second, swipe tag, they got him. Nice throw and a nice tag. And Hunter Greenwell is erased. So a nice defensive play there by Lake Highlands. And the bases are now empty for Burke Wahlberg. And he watches curveball strike 3. So the Mustangs are retired, but they push 3 across. They lead it 9-3. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Lake Highlands High School. We head to the home half of the third. Mustangs lead it 9-3. Hunter Greenwell, the sophomore lefty, is on the hill here for Pearce after a injury to Nick Graney just 2 batters into the bottom of the first. So Greenwell faces the catcher, Brady Hernandez, here, and a curveball is lined into center for a base hit. So nice job by Brady Hernandez being patient, waiting on that curveball, and he lines it right back up the box. The Lake Highlands Wildcats with a leadoff single. That'll bring up the third baseman, Matt McMullen. So the Bats are alive here in North Texas here tonight. These two old rivals get together. You never know what's going to happen. Tonight the Bats are alive. Curveball strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Wind has picked up a little bit here, blowing from left to right. Not a big factor, but putting a little bit of chill into the air. And now a pickoff attempt at first. Greenwell absolutely fooled Brady Hernandez there, but Hernandez still had time to cover the 4 or 5 feet that he had let off, so nothing doing there. 0-1 pitch is a curveball that just misses. 1-1. 1-1 pitch is fouled back. Mentioned earlier that the Berkner Rams finally got on the 8-6A scoreboard by defeating the Richardson Eagles on Tuesday night. Eagles looking to return the favor tonight. They lead it 5-3 about midway through that one. 2-1 pitch is in the dirt. Gets away from Rogers, but a nice recovery there will send Brady Hernandez back to first. 2-2 the count. 9 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Mustangs. 3 runs, 4 hits, 1 error for the homestanding Wildcats. 2-2 pitch is down. Full count. The Duncanville Panthers continue to lead the pace in 8-6A. They are big winners today over W.T. White. And now a line shot out to left. But Jordan Rosenblum with a nice play there. I hesitate because there were some defensive changes made when Graney was injured. And I can clearly see who's in the infield, but struggling a little bit to see who's in left and right. That was Jordan Rosenblum, the senior who started in left field tonight. Wahlberg is still in center. I believe Ben Kessler is the right fielder now for the Mustangs, but he is standing a long way from me right now. No, it looks like it's actually Jed Arrington. I guess I should have known that. Arrington came in to bat for Graney in the second, so it's the sophomore in right field, Jed Arrington. Hunter Greenwell is down with a fastball to the second baseman, Sam Miller, who popped out to short in the first inning. He gets another shot here in the third with 1 out and 1 on. Greenwell misses again, 2-0. If you're just joining us, Wildcats jumped out to a 2-0 lead in the first. Mustangs push 6 across in the top of the second. Now a line shot foul down the left field line. Mustangs, again, scored 6 runs in the top of the second. Wildcats came back with 1, but then the Mustangs added 3, and here we are, 9-3 Mustangs as we play here in the bottom half of the third. The 2-1 pitch is flown to center field. Burke Wahlberg has a beat on it. Drifts just into the gap in right center and makes the catch. So a couple of sharply hit balls by the Wildcats, but the Mustang outfield up to the task. And 2 down now with a runner at first. That brings up the DH, Sean Ryan, who hits tonight for the pitcher, Tanner Cabness. He'll try to keep the Wildcat inning alive. Hunter Greenwell has other designs and throws a patented hook in there that is offered at and missed. This sophomore has a fantastic curveball. I'm sure it's tempting to throw every pitch. Hitters typically have a tough time with it. Brady Hernandez did line one to center for a base hit to lead this inning off. Now Greenwell with another curveball that stays outside, 1-1. One pitch is a fastball that is lifted foul behind the Mustang dugout, 1-2. Sean Ryan struck out swinging to end the first for Lake Highlands. He faces Greenwell now with a 1-2 count. Runner goes. Curveball in the dirt. And Brady Hernandez will reach second base without a throw. So a stolen base for Brady Hernandez and a duck on the pond now for Sean Ryan.
Hey, right here. Go at him.
7-hitter Jacob Thompson in the on-deck circle. Now a check swing and a tag. Boy, it sure looked like he went. Field umpire and the home umpire say no. And that fills the count. So 3-2 to Sean Ryan. Ryan check swung there. And now the umpire asks the field umpire to be more clear with his call. And field umpire again says, no, sir. He did not offer. So it's a full count. Runner at second, 2 down. Mustangs owner of a 9-3 lead. And fastball is lifted foul. So Sean Ryan battling Hunter Greenwell. He will see his 7th pitch here in just a moment. Payoff pitch from Greenwell is high. And Sean Ryan is aboard with a 2-out walk. So runners at first and second now for the center fielder, Jacob Thompson. Thompson grounded out to the shortstop, Erickson, in the second inning, but it was about as hard as you can hit a ground ball. He barreled it up, but it took a nice hop. Erickson made a fantastic throw, and so Thompson was extinguished to lead off the second. He swings and misses here at a fastball. It's 0-1. Oh, 1 pitch to Thompson's a curveball that misses inside, 1-1. Again, Duncanville already in the winner's circle tonight with another 8-6A victory. This time over W.T. White, and Richardson leads Berkner. And now Hunter Greenwell throws over to first, and it gets by Nicholas Burlbaugh. Hunter Greenwell threw over to first. Burlbaugh wasn't even on the bag. Greenwell went ahead and threw the ball, and Nicholas Burlbaugh had no chance there. It got by him and up against the fence, and both runners will move up a bag. So we'll call that an E1. And now Coach Rumfield comes out of the Mustang dugout and calls an all-hands-on-deck conference on the mound. which is quickly broken up. But odd play there, as just don't see that very often. Greenwell took his foot off the rubber and threw over to first. Burlbaugh was not expecting that throw and was not on the bag. So an awkward play that results in the Wildcat runners moving up. So 1-1 count to Thompson, and he tips one foul at the plate. One-two count to Thompson. Thompson, that is, no P. Thomson. And a curveball up the middle, line shot, and speared by Hunter Greenwell. So for the second at bat, Jacob Thompson is absolutely robbed. So that'll do it for the Wildcats here. One hit, two left, but no runs across. Mustangs continue to lead this one 9-3. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We head to the bottom of the fourth. Mustangs lead it 12-3 here at Lake Highlands. It'll be the 8-9-1 hitters for the Wildcats. The Wildcats jumped out to a 2-0 lead in the first inning, but the Mustangs have scored 12 of the next 13 runs and paced themselves to a 12-3 lead here. Hunter Greenwell still on the mound for the Mustangs, and he fires a fastball strike to Josh Taylor to start the bottom of the fourth. Oh, 1 pitch, curveball, sharply struck out to second. Preston Van Zandt with a nice pick, nice throw, and quickly one down here in the bottom of the fourth. Well, if I'm not saying the word resilient about this Mustang team, then I'm talking about what great defense Preston Van Zandt has played for the Mustangs this year. Just take him for granted. That was a sharply struck ball. Caught it on a short hop, and now Blake Brown lifts one high into the Texas sky. And Jed Arrington makes the catch. So 3 pitches in, there are 2 down here in the Lake Highlands half of the inning. That'll take us back to the top of the order in left fielder Will Haskins. Haskins walked and scored in the first, and then had a sacrifice fly in the second. And he'll look at a fastball strike from Greenwell, 0-1. Mustangs could use a quick inning here. And Greenwell works out of a windup, and he misses with a curveball. It's 1-1. The shortstop, Ben Kohler, is on deck, hoping for a chance. 1-1 pitch, fastball, strike at the knees. Lake Highlands contingent not liking that call. 1-2. And the 1-2 delivery is a curveball, fought off foul by Haskins. As mentioned, the Mustangs have lost 3 in a row. Just 2 of those were district games. They played Dallas Jesuit last Saturday outside of district. Now a fastball just misses outside, 2-2. So the Mustangs, who were 6-1 and tied for first, have dropped 2 district games in a row, puts them at 6-3, but still in sole possession of second place at 6-3, but looking to get back to their winning ways here And Haskins with another foul ball, so it'll stay 2-2. The Mustangs swept the Wildcats last year and the year before it. Now another foul ball off the bat of Haskins. So Haskins will see at least 8 pitches from Hunter Greenwell in this at bat. 2-2 count. Fastball bounces in, full count. So the Mustangs swept the Wildcats in 2017 and 2018, with the Wildcats defeating the Mustangs on Tuesday night to run their district record to 4-5. Now a ground ball past the glove of Gavin Gold through the left side. So a nice at bat there by Will Haskins, who has done something good for the Wildcats in all 3 of his plate appearances tonight. Walk and scored in the first, sacrifice fly and RBI in the second. Now a 2-out single after a 9-pitch at bat. That'll bring up the shortstop, Ben Kohler. And a curveball is true at the knees. 0-1 to Kohler. Oh, 1 hook is chopped out to Vinzan at second. Scoops, throws, and that'll do it. So 1 hit, 1 left, but no runs for the Wildcats. After 4, Mustangs lead it 12-3. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the campus of Lake Highlands High School. We head to the top of the 5th. It's back to the top of the order for Coach Rumfield and his Mustangs. And that is in the form of sophomore center fielder Burke Wahlberg, who looks at a fastball outside. Wahlberg 0 for 3 tonight with 2 strikeouts and a ground ball to third base. Gets another shot here and lifts one foul down the left field line, 1-1. 12 runs, 12 hits, 1 error for the Mustangs. 3 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for the Wildcats. 1-1 pitch to Wahlberg is lined to Matt McMullen at third, who was in the perfect spot. So a nice solid hit from Wahlberg, but Matt McMullen standing in just the right spot. He makes a nice stab of a sinking liner. So for the first time since the first inning, the Wildcats retire the first Mustang batter of an inning. And that'll bring up the shortstop, Wyatt Erickson. And Eichstad misses down and wide with a fastball, 1-0. Erickson grounded out to to short in the first inning, walked and scored in the second, and had a leadoff single in the fourth. So Erickson adding to his offensive totals for the season, again leads the Mustangs in hits and RBIs. 2-0 count to him, big swing and a miss. 2-1. If the Mustangs do score in this half inning, then Lake Highlands will be forced to score in the bottom of the 5th to keep the game going. Erickson looks at a fastball high, 3-1. That due to the mercy rule that's in place. If a team leads by 10 or more runs after the trailing team has batted in the 5th inning, then the game is called. And with a 9-run lead, the Mustangs are not far off from that at the moment. Erickson fouls one off, so the count is full. Ben Kessler, the junior DH, is in the on-deck circle. Curveball stays outside, and Erickson has drawn another walk. So 1 down, 1 aboard for Ben Kessler, who struck out looking in the first, had a sharp single to right field in the 2nd inning that drove 2 home, and then singled again in the 4th inning. First ball swing, it's a fly ball to right that drops in for a base hit. So something between a line drive and a fly ball there by Ben Kessler, and it finds some earth out there, and Kessler has his 3rd hit of the evening.
Doing some landscaping around the plate, number 15, Wyatt Erickson.
So runners at 1st and 2nd now with still just 1 out. And that brings up Wyatt Erickson. First ball swinging. Lazy liner out to 2nd base. Sam Miller makes the catch, and the Mustang runners will retreat. So first ball swinging there by Erickson. He's retired, and that'll bring up catcher Beau Rogers. Rogers is 2 for 3 tonight. A couple of sharp singles, reached with a fielder's choice in the last inning, scored all 3 times. And he takes a curveball strike here with 2 outs and 2 on. Rogers, the only Mustang tonight that has scored 3 runs. And he takes a fastball inside, 1-1. And now a fastball in the eyes of Rogers, 2-1. And now very, very faint lightning beyond the right field wall. And a foul ball off the bat of Rogers, 2-2. There is rain in the forecast. It's supposed to start shortly after midnight tonight. It's supposed to rain all day tomorrow through a large portion of North Texas, but we should be able to get this one in just fine. 2-2 count to Rogers. Runners at 1st and 2nd, and now Rogers asks for time. Very light breeze blowing from left to right tonight. 2-2 pitch is a ground ball up the middle. Kohler scoops it and flips to Miller. So it's a 6-4 fielder's choice, and that'll do it for the Mustangs here in the 5th inning. They continue to lead it 12-3. We'll be right back. I'll bring up the 3rd baseman, Matt McMullen. There is now a pinch runner in for Hernandez. Try to get you who that is in just a second. Greenwell's first offering is down and in. It is Brendan Bolden who has come in to run for Brady Hernandez. 1-0 count to McMullen. And Greenwell misses again, 2-0. So the third baseman, McMullen, throws right, but bats left, and he takes ball 3 here. 3-0. .30 pitch is in the eyes of McMullen. It's a 4-pitch walk. So runners at first and second for the Wildcats with nobody out, and second baseman Sam Miller will step into the batter's box. Coach Andy Parker giving his signals to both runners and the hitter. Now the home plate umpire walks down to have a word with Coach Parker. Mustangs lead it 12-3 here. Wildcats got the first of this 2-game set by virtue of a 6-4 comeback victory on Tuesday night. Mustangs led that game 3-1 into the 6th inning, but the Wildcats battled back and stole one from the Mustangs. Mustangs looking to return the favor tonight. And Greenwell misses high with a fastball, 1-0 to Miller. Miller popped out to short in the first, flew out to center in the third. Bats again here in the 5th with 2 aboard and nobody out. Curveball is lifted high and foul down the third baseline. 1-1. Looking ahead, the Mustangs will take on the W.T. White Longhorns next week. That will be Tuesday at W.T. White. That'll be an earlier start as W.T. White does not have lights, so they will likely be about a 5 p.m. start. Check your local listings for that one. Now, a pickoff attempt at second is late. Or better yet, go on FridayNightGlory.com and surf around the site and see all the great things that this fantastic site has, and you can see what time the Mustangs play. Sharp ground ball to third. Gavin Gold backhands it behind the bag and throws an absolute rocket to Nicholas Burlbaugh at first base to get Sam Miller by half a step. Boy, what a huge defensive play by Gold there. That was the only play he had. It was a long throw, and he threw a perfect strike. Boy, you're looking at bases loaded, nobody out if you don't make that play. The senior coming up with a huge play from the hot corner. Now line drive out to Erickson at short. Wheels, throws, another unbelievable play. Wow, what a throw by Wyatt Erickson. And that'll do it for the Wildcats here in the 5th inning. So no runs across. The Mustangs continue to lead this one 12-3.